Greetings, folks. An Iolair here with a replay in the Tier 10 German battleship, the Großer Kurfürst. I am divisioned up with Piss and Napalm in the Tier 10 Soviet destroyer, the Khabarovsk. We are in a domination match here on Mountain Range, and my ship build is the same from my previous replay, but my commander skills have changed. So I have, for good or for ill, continued to sort of vacillate between balance of concealment with retaining an additional heal or repair party with the superintendent. And so in my previous replay with this ship, I had gone with concealment and I had given up superintendent and another level 1 skill. Whereas in this battle, I have dropped concealment, picked up superintendent again, and picked up priority target. So I wanted to see if I could play, or if I could play comfortably with the worst concealment, but still be able to contribute effectively to a match. And in this match, we'll find that actually for this particular match, things go quite well for me. Now, the other aspect that I wanted to highlight here in this match is that I have transitioned to using the 406mm guns. So for a long time, I had stuck with the 420s. They have a reload of slightly more than 28 seconds. The 406s have a reload of about, I think it's 25.4 seconds. And there are definitely two camps with regard to the 406s versus the 420s. Those who use the 420mm tend to feel that the 420s offer better penetrative benefits. They do have slightly higher alpha damage, but the idea is that they have some more oomph, if you will, behind them than over the 406s. Those who feel that the 406s are better tend to cite the faster reload and therefore higher DPM. There was an analysis done by Flamu not too long ago, and I was trying to find the video on this, and this was referred to me by some colleagues with whom I play, that Flamu found that basically there are no armor thicknesses on any ships that the 420s allow you to overmatch that the 406s cannot. So the argument is that there's really no penetration benefit in taking the 420s over the 406s. And again, without enough hard data to look at that Wargaming would have access to, but most of us do not, it's hard to say with any sort of scientific or objective assessment whether that's really the case. But in this particular match, I have switched back to the 406s. So in this particular match, I've moved towards the east side to support taking and holding Charlie. Piss and Napalm was hoping that our Kagero was going to head into Bravo with his very good concealment and try to help at least contest Bravo, but the Kagero had moved over to Charlie as well, and we've as many games go on this map, the teams have tended to sort of split into a more of an AC strategy, with maybe among the braver souls as a destroyer moving into Bravo to try to take Bravo. So we currently have a slight in fact, we now have a deficit because we've lost the first ship. We did hold Charlie briefly, but that's now being contested by this Z-23, which I've now called target on again. And so my objective here is to push through Charlie as fast as possible and get onto the flank to overtake these destroyers that are on the south side of Charlie, get the Z-23 out, and then dislodge the Richelieu, which has set up camp on the east side of Bravo. My other big concern, see, the Z-23 we can see, he's almost dead. My bigger concern, frankly, is actually the Shimakaze, whom at this point we cannot see. I'm going to take a little chip shot here on the Richelieu and do some hill securing to get him out of the match. Although I suppose I probably should have let him burn out and let whoever had put him on fire get the kill for that. So my apologies to that player if you happen to watch this match. And so now the battleship has been dealt with, and we have two American light cruisers that are on the south side of Charlie that I have no problems going and muscling out, but my concern is I don't know where the Shimakaze is. And so on voice comms, I'm talking to Napalm, asking him to try to push south to help light up the Shima. Now, Piston plays, Napalm plays the Khabarovsk like many players do. They essentially treat it as a very fast, small, light cruiser with terrible concealment as a destroyer, and so the Shimakaze would be able to spot him very early. And so there's some concern whether he would even be able to get the Shimakaze lit up. Now, as I suspected, the Shimakaze did send torps on me. The first two sets are going to miss. He set a little long, and I very conveniently am able to find a Kurfürst-sized gap between some of the between some of the torpedoes, and am able to avoid the entire set of torpedoes sent at me. So now I'm going to continue to push through Charlie, try to get these cruisers out of the way, and push them away from the cap. Now we have successfully secured Bravo and Charlie, and we now have a lead. We are even on the ship count, and so my main objective now is to provide area control and area denial for the team. So I am going to, in addition to trying to push these cruisers away from the caps, is to also then turn northward to move away from where I suspect the Shima is. Now you notice I have three ships targeting me. Two of them are obviously these cruisers, and I'm assuming at this point the third would have been the Shima. And now my priority target is dropped to 2. So I am suspecting at this point the Shima is lining up another torp run. I think most people are aware that when a ship targets you with torpedoes, that does not show up as a targeting by the priority target skill. And so when you see the number dip down or dip down and then dip back up, you suspect there's a destroyer in the area, that can be a key indicator there's a destroyer that has targeted and sent torpedoes on you. So I'm going to turn away. I did use my hydroacoustic search earlier for the earlier send by the Shimakaze, so I'm going to get out of his reach, and I'm going to let Piston Napalm move more south and try to intercept the Shimakaze. The Cleveland has been taken out. The Worcester that was south of Charlie has basically been pushed completely out of the game. And so now I'm going to move into Bravo. I need to back up and get in front of this Worcester that's at my 10 o'clock position so that the opposing team will fire at me instead of him. I've got a broadside shot on this Des Moines, and I land a Citadel, so I've got a good shot on him. And then here's kind of my nemesis in the game. Here's the Yamato. I'm showing him way too much side, as he is also doing to me. And I take a pretty good chunk from him, although probably not any Citadels there. And he's moving very slowly, so I'm going to go and fire on him. So I'm going to move into Bravo here. You'll notice we have an Allied Montana at Alpha 4. I think he was basically just trying to kite away because he was facing most of the force that was the opposing force that was at Alpha, and I think he wanted to try to get out of detection and reposition to to better benefit the team. I take a broadside shot or place a broadside shot on the Zhao, get another citadel, so take away almost half of his health. I put up my hydro here because I am within roughly 12 kilometers of the Zhao, and a lot of players are now taking the 12-kilometer torpedoes on the Zhao. They do take a long time to reload, almost 3 minutes, but they give a Zhao player a great deal of flexibility when firing, when sending torpedoes into onto targets. So now the Yamato and I are going to kind of face off here. The Missouri and the Montana on the opposing team that are south of, or sort of in the south between Alpha and Bravo, cannot fire on me. So my focus here is going to be the Yamato. We're trading pretty good shots, but I'm going to move so I can keep my bow on him and minimize damage taken from future shots. I was actually hoping the Des Moines on the opposing team was going to creep out, but I think he's smart enough to not come before me where I can get a salvo and take him out of the game. And the Des Moines has taken a lot of damage at this point. He's down to only a few hundred hit points, so I'm going to call target on him a couple of times, hoping that somebody's going to take that final shot and get him out of the match. I'm aiming here. The Yamato is showing a well-angled profile as well. I'm actually aiming as guns, trying to take some of his guns out of the match. I noticed the Des Moines is starting to heal, so I'm calling target on him again to try to get him out of the match. Now the next few salvos here I have a little bit of frustration, and this is probably a reflection of me needing to improve my aiming. I had aimed with the expectation that the Yamato would back up and I'd try to hit him in sort of the infamous cheek, and I think I aimed a little behind and I ended up hitting some of the thicker belt armor and didn't get much in the way of penetration damage. In fact, in this next salvo I'll have that same problem because he's giving me a lot of side and I should be able to get some significant damage in on him, but in fact with this one I get one down. So partly between German dispersion and me needing to probably improve some of my aiming, I don't get any decent damage on him. The Zhao shows up again. He's flat broadside to me, so I decide, okay, fine, I'll take a shot on him instead, see if I get any more luck. As luck would have it, I get a dove strike on match. You'll notice the Des Moines was finally taken down. Our team has a very solid lead at this point. I'm up to 150,000 damage. Got my secondary set on the Yamato. I'm going to get a couple of fires on him shortly. One more shot, hoping I'm going to get him in the cheek here, which I don't, but it's a little better. There's one fire set on the Yamato. Get my next heal in. So one thing that I really try to do as a when I play battleships, which is not that often, when I do, is I feel it's really necessary for me to be the center of attention. I'm kind of the protector of the team. I'm supposed to help take the shots and help draw the fire so that the rest of the team can do its job. There again, I get another fire on the Yamato. So I feel like my role here has been successful in preventing the opposing team from being able to push through into the Bravo cap, get the Yamato down with the close quarters, and now, as luck would have it, the Missouri, which is the remaining ship on the opposing team, flat broadside to me. He's fully focused on the Montana that's right next to him. So I'm going to get a broadside shot here on the Missouri. And where I was not able to get a citadel on the Yamato, I am able to get a citadel on the Missouri. There's the high caliber and the Confederate, with my secondaries going to town on the Missouri. I'm up to 194,000 damage. It's going to try to make a turn here, and I'm going to send the next salvo to finish off Missouri, and that will end the match. So yeah, so my opinion here is that the 406s work pretty well, and I'm going to stick with them for a while. And with regard to the concealment question, I'm going to stick with this build for a little while longer as well. I am still working on the unique upgrade for the Großer Kurfürst, so I'll stick with this for now, and I'll offer updates as things move along. So I hope you enjoyed this match and the replay, and we'll see you out there, and I wish everybody happy sailing.